For more on the story, we can bring in France 24's international affairs editor, Philip Turrell. Good to see you, Philip. Now, von der Leyen has also called for the overhaul of the so-called Dublin Agreement, under which migrants have to apply for asylum at the first point of entry. What kind of change is she going to propose?
Well, if you cast your mind back, Delano, to 2013, that's when this agreement was first signed by the 28 EU members plus several other countries around the European Union. And as you say, it was to make it easier for migrants to apply for asylum because they had to do it in the country they first arrived in, and in theory they were treated in the same way wherever they come in to the European Union. But in 2013 we weren't face to face with the same migrant crisis that we're face to face with today, which started in 2015. So many countries like Greece, for example, and Italy say that they are bearing the brunt of the arrivals of migrants into the European Union, and they can't cope with the number of demands for asylum, and they say that this burden should be taken on by other countries. Of course, at the moment, it can't be because of the Dublin Agreement. So what Ursula von der Leyen wants to do is to shift it onto other countries, whereby, for example, if you're coming into Italy and your final destination is France, you can then apply for that asylum once you come to France, and you don't have to do it when you arrive in Italy. That will take the burden off Italy and also off Greece and put some of the pressure on other countries. What she also wants to do is to make people respect the agreement on quotas. What is the quota system? That is that the migrant burden is given over to all 27 members of the European Union in numbers that they can cope with in their respective countries. But there again, an agreement was already signed on that a couple of years ago, and it has not been respected, although it was unanimously agreed by the 27 members of the European Union. You remember that Hungary, for example, is refusing to accept quotas, saying it doesn't want migrants on its territory, and that has also caused a lot of wrath in Brussels, because even though it's obliged to do so, it is not doing so. So she says the Dublin Agreement does desperately badly need to be overhauled, and that is one of her plans for the next 12 months of her tenureship as the President of the European Commission.
Seems like a challenging one she's going to have to
It is, and that the whole of what she's been talking about today, it all sounds good, and it all sounds positive, but there are lots of challenges and lots of disagreements between the different European nations, be it over how ecology is going to be imposed on the European Union, how the European Union deals with the coronavirus outbreak, criticism that some countries are dealing with it better than others. There's no uniform approach within Europe, and as you were saying in your introduction, a lot of European countries want a much stronger European position face-to-face with Donald Trump, with Belarus, with Turkey, for example, which they say they haven't got because of the voting rights within the European Parliament, and that is something that also needs to be overhauled. So a lot of pressure on Ursula von der Leyen to come up with some concrete measures, but concrete measures that need to be adopted by the 27 members of the European Union, and that is much more difficult.
Indeed. We'll see how the things shape up in the weeks and months to come. Thank you very much for that, Philip Turrell there.